What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So things are actually looking very interesting at this point. Last week, President Biden said the White House and Democrats had an agreement that we are moving forward with this $1.75 trillion infrastructure bill. Well, then Senator Joe Manchin says no, he doesn't agree to this. Today, we also know that Senator Bernie Sanders, he actually has the agreement, and we have some text of what is going to be in this prescription drug pricing provision. This is actually very good news for many people because it's going to bring down the cost of prescription medications. So this is good news. So make sure you stick around for this entire video so that you know exactly what is going to be in this. But here's what I can tell you right now. Senator Joe Manchin, he stated that he doesn't yet support this bill. Even though it's closer to his price goal of $1.5 trillion, this bill is at 1.75, he says he still opposes it for multiple reasons because there's many provisions within this bill that he doesn't completely support. He states that he wants to wait and see what the results of this bill would be when it comes to inflation, the deficit, the tax code, but he also added that Americans shouldn't be entitled to these benefits. These should be going to only those that truly need them, which means experts are now saying that he is pushing for more means testing in order to get his support on this bill. Well, there's two main holdouts in this bill, Senator Joe Manchin and Senator Kyrsten Sinema. Senator Kyrsten Sinema, she doesn't support the bill because she doesn't like tax increases. So, here's where we're at. Senator Joe Manchin said last week that he has 10 grandchildren and he is not going to support a bill that's going to saddle his grandchildren with this massive debt. Because he says even though what the White House is telling everybody is this bill is fully funded, he says it's not fully funded. Here's the reason why. He said he knows that $1.75 trillion could be fully funded. That's fine. He understands that. Here's the problem. What happens when some of these provisions are either extended or permanently expanded? What happens then? Do we see an increase in taxes? Do we see more money come in from the $80 billion that we give to the IRS? He says no. That money, the revenue, the tax revenue that we were seeing is not going to increase. So how can we pass a bill when we know good and well Democrats are going to come out, they're going to extend certain things, expand other provisions, some are going to be permanent, and then we go into a deeper deficit. That's what he's saying. That's what he's demanding. But again, he hasn't told us all this stuff. He hasn't said all these things until now. He's been waiting months. And this is the other problem with the White House is, according to Kyrsten Sinema's staff, that the White House has known exactly where she stands with this bill since like August. But they are looking at like, oh, she's coming out just all of a sudden and has different ideas. And really, that's not the case. But here's what I can tell you. Today in Glasgow, President Biden said that he believes Joe Manchin will be there. I think we'll get this done. But today, moderate House Democrats, they demanded the scores from the Congressional Budget Office, which my guess is this is coming from Senator Joe Manchin as well. They want to see the scores from the CBO, the Congressional Budget Office, and the JCT, which is the Taxation Committee or the Joint Committee on Taxation. So they want to see the scores from both of these. We haven't seen them. We also know that Senator Bernie Sanders, he doesn't support the bill as it stands right now either. Two reasons. Number one, there's not enough. Number two, there's too much for billionaires. You're probably thinking, oh, they're not going to tax billionaires, right? But they are going to give billionaires a tax break. Here's what we know. In the bill right now, in the $1.75 trillion infrastructure bill, there is a provision that actually includes the SALT tax relief for certain states. Well, Bernie Sanders said today, and I quote, Democrats campaigned and won on an agenda that demands that the very wealthy finally pay their fair share, not one that gives them more tax breaks, which is essentially what the SALT tax deduction is doing. So, he's saying he doesn't support the bill because of that one thing, but here's the second thing. This is probably the biggest news that we've seen today. Okay, one of the biggest things that we're seeing is that right now the new prescription drug pricing outline is available. We can see this. It states that prices, and this is where things get somewhat tricky, but we're going to have a little more clarity on this very soon. But this just came out recently, within the last, I think, couple hours. So it states that prices cannot exceed 75% of the manufacturer price for a small drug fewer than 12 years old and more than 9 years old. Okay? It can't be 65% of the manufacturer price for a 12 to 16-year-old drug. And it can't be more than 40% of a drug that is more than 16 years past initial exclusivity. So again, we're gonna get more clarity on all that stuff, which ones might pertain to the the 75, 65, and 40. But here's something else. And I thought this was interesting, but manufacturers who refuse to pay this, or who refuse to go by this, they will actually have to pay an excise tax, right? You probably think, oh, it's good news. This is good news. We're going to see manufacturers paying for this. Okay, it's not going to be more expensive to the American people and the taxpayers. But then the CBO comes out and they state that this is never actually levied. So they don't anticipate anyone's really going to pay anything for this if they don't participate. But here's what the policy also states. The policy creates an annual out-of-pocket patient spending cap at just $2,000. At just $2,000. That means you're going to pay, I don't even know what that is. What's 2,000 divided by 12? Let's do the math. Probably should have done that. 2,000 divided by 12, $166 per month. It also says insulin copays are capped at $35. $35 per month. How big is that? I know a lot of people that pay way more than $35 a month. They pay hundreds of dollars for insulin every single month. And let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Do you like this? Do you like this idea? A cap of $2,000 per year. Okay, this would actually be like a rolling 2,000 as well, and a cap of $35 per month for insulin to keep you alive. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Now, you can also give me your thoughts on, do you think this is going to pass? In my opinion, I don't think it's going to pass as is. I think there's going to be other things that have to be included into this. I think Joe Manchin is going to push back on this. I think there's going to be multiple moderates that are going to push back on this prescription drug pricing as well. Just so you know, Senator Joe Manchin's daughter is in this industry. So if they pass this, this is probably going to pull a bunch of money out of her pocket. So just keep that in mind. But let's talk about student debt forgiveness, student debt cancellation, whatever you want to call it. Today we saw the memo that was to Education Secretary Miguel Cardona. The date of the memo is April 5th, 2021. The memo, I looked at this, it is heavily redacted. There are multiple pages with just a big pink sheet over the top, heavily redacted. They're not just things, somewhat redacted, little black marks throughout it. No, the pages are just gone. Blank pages, pink pages. It's ridiculous. This entire saga started back on April 1st, 2021. This is actually when White House Chief of Staff Ron Klain said that President Biden asked Miguel Cardona to pretty much prepare a memo and state whether or not President Biden has the legal authority to cancel student debt up to $10,000 per borrower. Well, after reading this memo, which was pretty easy because there's a lot of stuff redacted, experts are now saying that they believe President Biden does have the power to eliminate student debt up to $10,000 per borrower. However, they say that they believe this could be a political nightmare if it was to happen. So if President Biden were to come out and say, okay, anybody that has, every single borrower that has, up to $10,000, you can get up to $10,000 debt, is gone, forgiven immediately. They say this could be a political nightmare. Many education experts have said that President Biden has the power to cancel student debt with the flick of the pen Even Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has been saying this for months, that President Biden has the ability, but President Biden has not done it. But if this is done, here's what would happen. It would erase all student debt for roughly 15 million people. It would leave behind about 30 million people who would have additional debt. However, let's say it's $10,000. The $10,000, let's say somebody owes $11,000. That means $10,000 would be immediately forgiven. They'd only owe $1,000. Only $1,000 left. Or if somebody owed $35,000, $10,000 would be taken out and they'd just owe $25,000. So this could help out many people. But like I said this morning, borrowers are needing more help, especially now when there's just 91 days until the student loan payment pause expires. On February 1st, payments are going to begin again. So this is something that all borrowers need to understand, that the payment pause isn't permanent. It's going to be over in 91 days. Here's something else that we found out today. Today, the CDC advisors recommended Pfizer's COVID vaccine for children 5 to 11 years old. So they are saying that now we have one more additional vaccine that can go towards saving lives in children and keeping children out of getting severely sick. One thing I just want to say, and I don't see this on the media. You just don't see it on the media. You don't see it on a lot of other YouTube channels. You don't see it on social media. Everyone says, CDC advisors recommend the Pfizer vaccine for children 5 to 11 years old. Great. But then they say, go get the vaccine. Go get it. It's perfectly fine. Here's what I can tell you. I did get the vaccine. But I'm not telling people, go get it. I'm not saying, go get it. Go give it to your children. No. I'm not saying that. What I'm telling you, and I want to warn you guys on this, because you're not going to hear it everywhere else. If you're thinking about getting your child vaccinated, okay, just great. I'm glad you're thinking about it. But first, don't just go down to a local pharmacy or wherever, right? Go to your actual physician, okay? Go talk to your doctor. Go talk to your children's, pediatrician, right? Go see if this is perfectly fine for them. Don't take any chances. Okay, we already know there's a chance, right? It's a small chance, but there's still a chance that there could be some adverse effects. So go talk to your physician. Make sure, and if you can, have them do it. Don't have somebody in a parking lot go and do it. Okay, have your physician do it. Make sure that your child is protected. That if something were to go wrong, they are there. You're at the hospital, at the clinic, whatever, right? That's just my advice to you as a parent. I am going to look into this. I am going to, consider maybe giving my children, this vaccine. But again, I'm not doing it today. I'm going to make sure I do my due diligence. Make sure I do my research. Okay? Do your own research. Don't take my word for it. Don't listen to somebody on YouTube, right? I'm not a doctor. Okay? I'm no scientist. Okay? I'm just a guy on YouTube. So that's just my warning to you. I don't see this on the media. I don't see it on TV or the news anywhere. Everyone says, oh, it's okay, it's good, go and get it. No, take your time, do some research, and make sure that your child is perfectly safe. That's all I'm saying, all right? So that's what we know as of right now. Again, I just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Do me a favor, if you enjoyed today's video, do me a favor, go ahead, hit that like button. It really does help out the channel. Thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.